Alright guys, so Black Friday just happened and I ordered a ton of things for the RX7. So let's go ahead and unpack everything and see what we picked up. Alright guys, so this is going to be the first box of parts that I ordered, and in here there's only one thing. So if you can get a little sneak peek, this is actually a new Nardi steering wheel that I picked up from a Vise Motorsports. And what I have in the car is actually a 330 mil steering wheel. This is actually the 350, and it's a deep corn, just like the last one. But what's nice, this one is actually made out of leather with red stitching, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. So this is going to go on the RX7, and it's going to replace the suede 330 millimeter steering wheel that's already in the car. The next thing I want to talk about is actually some parts I picked up from Bubbletech. Now, Bubbletech is actually a company that has been making parts for the RX7 that either don't exist any longer or they might be really bad. So like this part is actually the door handle for the passenger side of the RX7. Now you can still buy these, I think, from Mazda, but it doesn't matter. This is the one that you want to get. This one is made out of a stronger resin that's more reinforced, and so as you might buy the one from Mazda, you might think that's a better option, but this is the way to go. This is actually leather wrapped, and it has like a, I think he calls it a baseball stitching on there. And this thing is awesome. He actually has like a video of him standing on this thing, or like, you know, supporting a bunch of weights on it. It's awesome. The other one I got is actually something, a really small detail. It's actually the windshield wiper caps. The ones on the RX7 disintegrated a long time ago, and as opposed to going with Mazda replacements, I picked up these guys. Next, let's talk about everything that I ordered from Summit Racing. Now, Summit's local, so I did have to pay local tax since I'm based in Texas, but I picked up all of my things for the fuel system besides the fuel pump, which I ordered from Real Street Performance, and the injectors and fuel rail. But here, I ordered all of the fuel lines and all of the fittings. So let me move all this stuff out of the way. So we're going to be running dash 6 for the feed lines. So this is actually going to go, this is going to be some of the lines that are used. So I have dash 6, I have dash 8 for the, actually, sorry, scratch that. Dash 8's for the feed, dash 6 is for the return. I don't know what I'm saying. It's been a long day. I have all of the fittings that are required. So tons and tons of AN fittings that I ordered from Summit Racing. So all of this stuff is PTFE. So it's E85 compliant. And I will list all of the part numbers that I ordered. In addition, so I've never done AN fittings before. And so I have a vise that is actually over there. And I picked up these jaws that help you make sure that everything is doesn't get scratched or marred, which is nice. And then this box is an AN wrench. Let me see if I can open this with one hand. Hey, there we go. So purple. So this is all aluminum, so it doesn't damage or mess up the AN fittings. Because if you use a steel wrench, it most definitely will. So most guys will actually run the braided lines from the fuel tank, you know, up to the fuel rail. And for some people that's perfectly fine, but on a car that's on the road, it's definitely not the safest thing to do. So we are actually going to be using, we're actually going to be using aluminum lines that I'll be bending up. So this is a 1/2 inch diameter, and the other one I believe is a 3/8 inch diameter. And so I'm going to be using like tube nuts and everything to get this to attach to an AN fitting. So this will be under the car, you know, where, you know, since the car's kind of low, this is going to be under the car. So if we accidentally hit something, you know, or like the lines get eaten through because of E85 or something like that, it's not going to happen to this guy. So I won't have to replace the longest run of hose or tubing. So that's nice. Let's look at another thing that I ordered. So I wanted to keep tabs on fuel pressure and oil pressure, obviously, because they're really important. So from WHP, or here we go, from WHP or ECU Masters, I ordered this Tinbar pressure sensor. It's like a Honeywell variety, but it comes with the pins that are needed. It comes with some thread sealant, which should be more than enough to do this and a couple other things on the car, and also the plug to wire it all up. Now, if you want to know what the part number is or the calibration, it's linear from 0.5 volts to 4.5. And there's two of those, one for fuel pressure and one for oil pressure. Both of them will be mounted remotely on like a little bracket on the firewall so that they don't get damaged from vibration. All right, so that's all this stuff from Bubbletech, ECU Masters, Evasive Motorsports, and Summit. Let's go look at what we have from Driftmotion. All right, guys, so this is the stuff that I ordered from Driftmotion. For the car, I've already ordered a bunch of things I needed from them previously. Aaron over there is absolutely amazing, and he has a ton of parts for, you know, all your JZ swap needs. But what we're going to do is actually upgrade the coolant system, or sorry, oil cooler. If you don't know, all turbo JZ cars actually have a coolant-based oil cooler that you can see down there. So there's coolant lines that run off of the water housing on the other side, around the block, into this big like sandwich thing, out and then back into the block. Now, it's not bad. There's a lot of people that leave it in there and there's no problems. I just want to simplify the coolant system and go air to air. So that's what we have in the box over here. So we have non-PTFE oil lines to put into the car. We have all of the necessary AN fittings to come out of the oil cooler block and then into the oil cooler itself. We have the sandwich plate that I'm going to use for putting the sensors in. So you have a couple different ports. There's 3 ports total. So we're going to have oil temp and oil pressure there. There's also a thermostatic plate that we're going to be using. So that's this guy. So this is going to go up against the block. And then whenever the temperature gets hot enough, the thermostat that's in here, focus. There we go. So this is the thermostatic block. Whenever the coolant or cooler gets, whenever the oil gets hot enough, it's actually going to flow through these lines down here. And then it'll go into the oil cooler, which is down here on the bottom. So this is that guy. So we're going to mount this behind the driver's side headlight of the car. Run the lines, cut the lines, do all that stuff in one of our videos. The other stuff that I ordered, like I mentioned earlier, is actually a ton of parts from Real Street Performance. I ordered injector dynamics injectors, which is why I pulled the injector portion of the harness out. So we can rewire these for the clips that are needed for the injector. We have a new tile blow-off valve that's coming, a radium fuel rail with fuel pressure regulator, a E85 content fuel sensor that will be mounted on the fuel wall, on the firewall. We also have the fuel pump that's going to go in the rear of the car. It's a Walbro 450 E85 compliant with the install kit and all that kind of stuff. So lots of different projects up and around the car. Hopefully I can get rid of all this nonsense that's in here. I even have another intake manifold that I'm polishing up so that we can get rid of this kind of haphazard one that I have here. This one I had started, but since it's on the car, I'm just going to start on the other one. That's literally all the way over there. I know there's stuff everywhere I gotta get the interior into. So that is everything that we've purchased for the RX7 this Black Friday, at least of the stuff that is here. I'll make a video of everything that comes in from Real Street Performance because, like I said, I have a ton of things. There's even things that are on the order that I didn't mention in the video. So we'll just save that for that video. So now that I have everything, or a lot of things, we're going to go ahead and get started on putting stuff onto the car tomorrow. Catch you next time.